How did you build the team in that first company? How did you start putting things together?
Oh, I think first of all, it was in the very, very beginning when we were a startup. It was about doing it with people that you either were complete opposite, but you have the same core values. You had loyalty together, and you would fight together, and you would trust each other, but you were diverse. So it was a co-founder. I call it power of the mastermind. I'm really good at X, and you're really good at Y, and then you collect co-founders they are there after 7 o'clock, after 8 o'clock. They pick up the phone 2 o'clock in the night, so you find this warrior team. And then you start to gain some revenue, and then you figure out where do we want to put people. So then, as you grow, you figure out what positions is most important for your company. Then you get a shitload of money, and that's where the crazy stuff starts. That's where you actually have to do interviews and ask people, so what is your dream position? Where do you want to be in 10 years? And here you are, 23 years old, not knowing anything about that.
That's when you were leaving the company, right?
No, I stayed a little bit more longer. So in the very beginning, it was a family, it's a family feeling. I would say the first 15, 20, 25 employees, you could keep the family feeling there. After that, it's then you need to have some strategies to put the family feeling in 150 employees. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with that, where do you see yourself in 10 years thing doesn't always work, does it?
you go on Google and you're like, what to ask people for an interview, and then you try that out.
Yeah.
But I think it's about you look people in the eye, and you're very honest. You tell them, hey guys, this is me, this is you. What do you like? What do you hate? What are you good at? And then you look people in the eye, and you agree on those terms. You're so present. I think that's the key thing, and I think if you can keep that as long as as long as possible, you'll get some really cool employee. I don't like calling it employee colleagues. You get some teammates.
Yeah.
My work is my playground. I spend most of my time there. So.
Yeah, Anna, what's your team building experience?
No, but I agree. I mean, the core values are completely essential, I think. I mean, if you agree on that, you can basically agree on when you're fighting, you know that you will be fighting. These are pressure, I mean, we put under a lot of pressure when there's no money left. Even just stress testing all those situations with the core team, you will find out what happens if somebody can't pick out their salary for 3 months in a row.
Then you're fucked.
No, but I mean, you're not. I mean, that's exactly what you have to get through. I mean, it has happened. Maybe not to you, but to me. So this constant pressure of removing money. I mean, it's a really good idea to remove money to get good ideas. Because when you need to be creative, just get rid of your budget. You will be creative. So I think that's one of the learnings. We were 3 to start out with Tasteline, and the other 2 co-founders, Anders and Andreas, they knew each other really well because they'd started another company called Delicious Cards. It was a sort of postcard format with recipes on one side and then a really colorful picture of the food on one side of the card, and they just wanted to digitize that and take it online, sort of like a search engine for recipes. And with Google running parallel, this was like, Google was still in such early days, this was a good platform to go to. But we got a lot of people involved with the similar core values and with particular interest in maybe food or developing or whatever it was. But everyone was put through the test of core values. I think that the hardest group to recruit, once you get to that stage, are salespeople. Because they will sell to you in the meeting, you're like blown away. So that's my tip.
So the tip, a good tip when you hire a sales guy, this is really, really good, is that it works every single time. You see how loyal they are. You ask them in the conversation, you've been speaking for 30 minutes, everything's going well, because sales guys are good, sales girls are good. You ask them, alright, so let's imagine now you get the job, we like each other, I like you, you like me, you like what we're going to do together. So what offer would you have on your table to leave me? So you ask them, what offer should come on the table for you to leave me? Then you can see quickly those who says, oh, I would never leave you. They're totally liars.
Yeah.
And then,
how many salespeople are here?
Salespeople.
Okay.
And then you have someone saying that, actually I would probably leave you for X. And if the reason for them leaving is still within your company to be able to support them with that, there's the right guy. Because honesty is always very important. And then you have the guy saying, yeah, I would leave you if I got some economics in the next job. Oh, okay, you're definitely not hired.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that's a tip.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, but it is a difficult target group. I mean, it's the ones that churn most often, I find, and for natural reasons as well. I mean, but you want to keep it sales.
They're hunters.
Yeah, they're hunters. So, but other than that, I think core values super important. Stress testing, you'll find the people that you need to. But when it's your co-founders, and especially for those of you who are actually looking for that right now, I think those questions could probably be equally used for your co-founders. Why would you leave me? And what is essential to you? Like going through, how much money do you need every month to stick to this? And if we don't have money for 6 months, what happens?
Yeah, I think co-founders is risk takers, right? Because so this discussion, when we were 100 employees in my company, I had people who was there from the beginning who got a safe salary, they had cars, they had a lot more than I had, and I gave them everything I had, and sometimes when we couldn't pay salaries, it was my salary I didn't pay.
Exactly.
So the co-founders you're going to find are the ones who's going to risk it, you know, and I believe in, if I want to find a co-founder, especially after I've been struggling and fighting, that co-founder has to bring in blood, you know. If it's not money, money is a really quick commitment. You know, if you want to be a co-founder, what do you have in your bank account? I have 50,000, give me 40. You know, you bootstrap people because that's the period you've been through. I believe in that. If the co-founder is not a very, very mastermind person that you really need to bring on board. But still, if you find that person, I think it's important that a co-founder is bootstrapped the same way you are.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I found two different scenarios. My first team, we were 2 guys and me, and the other were 3 women. And there's some different traits in that. I don't think I should generalize based on those 2 cases, but it's been completely different, and the women have sort of like stuck it through. They haven't been demanding as much of the company, or it's been a different ride, but they've been extremely loyal in both cases, but based on different incentives, I'd say.
Yeah, in general, you're not looking, well, the mistake people make when they find their co-founder, when it doesn't work, is finding someone who is a lot like them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what we do as human beings. We're just kind of drawn to people. It's like, oh, they're just like me. I like them. Now I'm going to let's start a company together.
But you know, a company is a choice. It's an active choice, because running a company is not easy. You know, it's simple, not easy. So when you find co-founders, it's important that you totally understand that, are you ready to take, this is a choice, you gotta wake up every morning and choose to do what really sucks. But you gotta do it because you believe in a higher purpose and you think it's actually fun to do that. So finding co-founders is about, you gotta find people that are willing to take that choice as much as you will.
Yeah, my favorite saying, if it's easy, anyone could do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you really need to bring on people who are just like, I'm up for it. Backward, turning a slope, I'll be joining it anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't finish. I think sometimes when I speak, you have 5 people. So when you have 100 employees, my point was that I had employees in the very beginning that was very safe. They came to me now, Mike, why didn't I ever get a piece of the pie? Because you didn't borrow 4 million in the bank when I needed it.
Yeah.
Now when there's 100 million in the bank, you want to have 4%? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I would never, if I join a company after that person have been struggling and so on, and I get if I squeeze in, I get a little piece, I'm happy with that. Unless if I can invest my way in, you know, and really show them I'm going to commit to this. So it's always, you know, it's a risk, you know, and for me it's a fun risk. I love that. I'll never leave that. Maybe when I'm 50 and I can't walk or talk, but yeah, co-founders are risk takers.
When you're 50, you're not going to let one person.
So they'll fly away.
Yeah, if you want a piece of the pie, you got to bring a fork.
Yeah.
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 Bring the meat.
Yeah.